Hey there, it's Matty Miller with ERA Heavener Realty, and today we're actually answering the question, and the other part of what ERA does here is, why would you hire a property management company? So as some of you may know, here at ERA, we actually do property management and real estate sales as well. And often people ask me a lot of the times is, why would people hire a property manager? Why don't they just do it themselves? It seems so easy. And the way I describe property management sometimes is almost as an insurance policy. While being a landlord sometimes can be very simple, there's big issues when things go wrong, and that's when you're probably going to need some professional help. And as much as the costs have gone down on property management in the grand scheme of things, there certainly is a lot of ways you can take advantage of a property management company for not a lot of money to take care of a lot of unwanted issues for you. One of the biggest things that comes to mind when we talk about property management is maintenance issues and handling those. And the last thing that anybody really wants to deal with on a Friday night after a long week of work is dealing with a mad tenant whose AC went out. And that's just one of the examples. You have AC, you have plumbing, you have electrical issues. Things happen in houses all the time that need to be serviced. So why would you want to take that call as opposed to pass that off to a property manager who has technology in place like we do? We use technology. That way people can go in and submit work orders online and make sure that job gets handled very quickly and it gets over to a contractor and they can set up that appointment almost immediately to make sure that gets done. We want to handle that for you so you don't have to take that burden. So collecting rent is a simple task that most landlords think is very easy. Quite honestly, it can be a pain in the butt and can be very time consuming, especially when you don't have the right systems in place. All of our tenants are able to pay online, which is very simple for them. They don't have to drive across town and do that. Obviously, there's Venmo and things like that, other technology processes if you're a landlord for self that you can take advantage of. But understanding different policies, especially we just went through COVID over 2020 and still really leaking into 2021. There are different state regulations as far as evictions are in process and things like that you really have to know. And part of a property manager's biggest really responsibilities are keeping up with the local laws and understanding, the state that they're in, how can they operate when it comes to evictions and non-payment of rent and things like that. Like understanding the law is a big part of our job. And I strive every day to learn as much as I can about new laws that come up and do stuff. And I actually did a couple of videos with some local attorneys as well that you can see, and we can probably put in the link as well. But again, understanding that stuff and understanding what to do when you're, kind of in between a rock and a hard place is a really big thing for us. So one big thing that I'm a big stickler on is actually screening tenants. And obviously I'm a stickler on it because we have to do it. But I'm very patient. We do our homework. Our eviction rate is very low. In other words, we don't evict a lot of people. And I believe I've done 3 evictions in the last 6 years, so about 1 every other year, which I think is a pretty good rate. If you ask a lot of property managers, they may or may not know their own number. But that being said, it's very low. And a big part of that is screening tenants and handling them, with respect, obviously, as well. Because at the end of the day, if you have a quality property and you place a quality tenant, things are going to go pretty smoothly. The issue is a lot of people that manage their own property, they just simply don't quite understand, how to properly screen a tenant. They don't know the red flags that they should be looking for when they do place those tenants. Before they know it, they're 6 months into a lease that their tenant's not paying, they're very high maintenance, they're calling about this, that, and the other, and they're trying to basically put it back on the landlord, that the landlord's not doing his job, and then you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. And then you come to the word that no one wants to really deal with, and that's evictions. Again, it's a scary word, and good news is we handle that stuff for you. If you have an ongoing eviction, we'll handle it for you. If you want to pull the trigger on an eviction with a tenant, we can handle that for you as well. We do use a local attorney. Obviously, the communication between me, the attorney, and everybody else, that's really when you need us. When something goes wrong in property management is really when you need somebody to know what to tell you or to give you the right advice. And that's probably more valuable than anything. Just being able to get yourself out of a situation, get the house back on the market, get it re-rented, get it cleaned up, handling that, handling the contractors, all those things go into play when you have a property manager, and it just makes your life as a landlord so much simpler that you don't have all the weight of everything going wrong in the situation on you. We hope that everything goes right, but simply that's just not the case, and we are aware of that, but we are here basically to make that process easier. So if you have any questions about property management, what kind of services we offer, my name is Matty Miller. So thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, give me a shout. Talk to you soon.